Well, drama and disappointment on both sides so far. Tonight, it is game 3 of 4 from Los Angeles, where the rosters have expanded. It's September. Only Blue Talk and Love. Hopefully not. We're chasing the clouds away for D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. And for the first time in 7 years, we arrive at September with the Diamondbacks in first place in the division by only 1 game over the East Dodgers. Greetings from Dodger Stadium and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. Pitching has been the recurring theme on this entire road trip. It's been outstanding for the Diamondbacks. And that is the headline theme again here tonight, Bob. A matchup of 2 tremendous lefties. Patrick Corbin takes on Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, these 2 guys have faced their respective opponents 3 times each this year, but these 2 haven't hooked up before tonight. Patrick Corbin in his 3 starts against the Dodgers this season, a 1-0 record. ERA under 1. He's punched out 24 Dodger hitters. Clayton Kershaw in his 3 against the Diamondbacks, 1-1 with a 237. This should be a beauty.
Kershaw still effective, but he's battled injuries and a diminished fastball velocity. On the other hand, Bob, we've never seen Patrick Corbin pitch this well for this long a period in one season.
Yeah, he's well on his way to establishing a career high in just about every important pitching category, and you really get the feeling going into this ball game, this could be one of those signature games that people talk about 20 years from now. Do you remember when Patrick Corbin and Clayton Kershaw hooked up at Dodger Stadium? This could be one of those games for Patrick tonight.
It has all the makings. Corbin and Kershaw, D-backs and Dodgers separated by only 1 game for the NL West lead. This should be a lot of fun. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Arizona. When we come back, we'll have the opening pitch, D-backs and Dodgers from LA. D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Tire Pros of Arizona, everything rotates around you. By the NASCAR Can-Am 500 at ISM Raceway, November 9th, 10th, and 11th. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money.
By Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By First Watch, the Daytime Cafe. By One AZ Credit Union. Let's bank together. And by Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The Card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the Card today.
It's been another all-star season for Patrick Corbin, but tonight his biggest hurdle to date in 2018, a start at Dodger Stadium, trying to hold off the boys in blue for the NL West lead. First pitch is next. Patrick Corbin has got it going. Kershaw gets the strikeout. 10 strikeouts for Corbin. Ball strike 3. And here we go. Welcome to Los Angeles, where it is a Saturday special. 77 degrees and sunny. Steve Berthew, Bob Brindley, Todd Walsh with you. The D-backs have split the first 2 games in this 4-game set. They lead the season series with LA, 9 wins to 5. Here's the Diamondbacks starting lineup tonight, presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Steven Souza Jr. once again leading it off out in right field. A.J. Pollock will be in center. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. David Peralta out in left field. Eduardo Escobar will be at third base. Nick Ahmed at short. Ketel Marte at second. Jeff Mathis behind the plate again tonight for left-hander Patrick Corbin.
And it's a lefty on the mound for Los Angeles here. Ram truck starting pitcher for the Dodgers is Clayton Kershaw. 6-5 in 20 starts, a 2.39 ERA. He's had a pair of trips to the disabled list this summer. One's for left bicep tendonitis, another for that recurring lower back trouble.
He's really on a nice run since the All-Star break, coming off a no decision against the Padres when he went 8 strong innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 7 hits, struck out 9, didn't walk a batter, but as I mentioned, walked away with a no decision.
E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the diamond at the Dodgers defense.
Kike Hernandez out in center field tonight. Matt Kemp will be in left. Yasiel Puig in right. It'll be Justin Turner at third base. Manny Machado and Brian Dozier make up the double play combo up the middle, with David Freese, the newest Dodger, over at first base tonight. Austin Barnes doing the catching for lefty Clayton Kershaw.
Dan Bellino is our plate umpire tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Adam Homari is at first base. Ryan Blakeney's at second. And the crew chief, Tom Halligan, is in the jackpot at third. Steven Souza Jr. gets us started. Diamondbacks leading the NL West by 1 game over these Dodgers. They're a game and a half up on Colorado. The Rockies are at San Diego tonight. Souza 251 with 4 home runs. There's a fastball for a strike, and we're underway from Chavez Ravine. 3 games in the leadoff spot for Steven, and he's had 2 hits in all 3 games. Already with 4 hits in this series. That fastball in, missed. It's 1-1.
And this is Steven Souza Jr.'s first look at Clayton Kershaw. I mean, a lot of the Diamondbacks have had much experience against Kershaw, but the first look for Steven Souza Jr.
Kershaw was originally scheduled to pitch last night's game, but the Dodgers pushed him back until tonight. That would line Kershaw up to pitch in a series against the Rockies next weekend in Denver, rather than have his start fall during a series against the Mets. So they figured out a way to get him 2 starts against NL West contenders instead of just 1. Time now, Bob, for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, sometimes when things get ugly like they did last night, get back to the basics. Torrey talks about it all the time. Link at bats, build innings, play for those moments. Well, the Diamondbacks had a few moments in the ball game last night that they let get away. It was tough building innings last night. Probably be more of the same against Kershaw tonight, but try to take advantage of every base runner.
This is one of the reasons why Souza is a good candidate for this leadoff spot. He can extend at bats and see pitches. Pollock on deck, 3-2 on Souza. Up in that light sky, Puig is out there very casually under it. Didn't have to move.
I was just thinking to myself, Puig seems to be playing awfully shallow out there in right field, but that fly ball was right in his hip pocket. He didn't even have to move. Applauding in whichever coach for the Dodgers told him to come in.
Now they'll shift over toward the third base side for AJ, who's batting .262 with 16 home runs. Diamondbacks trying to get this offense going. They won Thursday 3-1. They lost last night 3-2. And this is driven out to deep center field. Kike Hernandez backing up. He's at the wall, and he's got it. 2 down. AJ's starting to do that more and more often lately.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's small consolation, but he flied out to the wall in right field last night. Puig made a nice running catch up against the barrier and now chases Kike Hernandez all the way to the wall in straightaway center, just coming up a little bit short.
Long at bat by Souza. Quick out for Pollock. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Fastball got in there. Kershaw wanted it, but Dan Bellino says no. Goldie 293, now 31 home runs. That OPS is 7th best in baseball and the highest of any player in this series. Kershaw has altered his game plan somewhat. He's really relied heavily on his slider this year and has been getting away from the fastball, but a lot of fastballs so far tonight. There's a breaking pitch that missed, 2-1.
Yeah, basically a 3-pitch mix from Kershaw. The fastball, the big overhand curve, and as you said, that slider that he's used about 40% of the time this year.
And he throws the slider now almost as often as the fastball. That fastball velocity has dropped steadily the last few years. And this year he's throwing that fastball less often than ever before. He now tends to pick away at the outer half of the strike zone with breaking balls far more often than not. Austin Barnes behind the plate. 2-2 to Goldie. Bounced over the head of Kershaw. Dozier has it. Tough throw. Hold on. We're staying right here. We have interference on Austin Barnes. Dan Bellino, the plate umpire, running out and immediately signaling, I believe, catcher's interference.
Yeah, there had to be something going on at home plate because Goldie wasn't running down the first baseline very hard, and we know something must have gone wrong if Goldie's not running hard. Just clips a little bit of Austin Barnes' mitt that time.
Bellino was waving his arms, and you're right, Goldie, you looked up and he wasn't even halfway down the line. So an opportunity now for Peralta.
That'll go as an E2 on Austin Barnes for the catcher's interference.
There's a fastball, another fastball from Kershaw. Up high, but strike one. David at 326 home runs. The newest Dodger, David Freese, is the first baseman tonight. He's holding Goldie on the bag over there. Acquired yesterday from Pittsburgh. This heavy fastball use has got to be by design. You know that they're up there looking for sliders and curveballs.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. The Dodgers have the same advanced scouting that the Diamondbacks do. They can look at video. You can check past game charts and see what pitches he's thrown to right-handed hitters, to left-handed hitters in every count. And to try to combat that advanced scouting, sometimes you change your game plan. Looks like Kershaw is going to rely heavily on the fastball, at least first time through the Diamondbacks order.
Bats are a little slow so far, and again, it's not like he's got a dominant fastball. 90-91 or so at best. David down 0-2. Reaches out and lifts it in the air to Kemp in left. And that's the end of the top of the first. Patrick Corbin coming up from Los Angeles. Lefty Patrick Corbin, who pitched an exceptional ball game in his previous start on this road trip. That was Monday in San Francisco, but got the loss as the D-backs were shut out by the Giants.
Patrick's been on quite a roll himself lately. You mentioned that last start against the Giants deserved a much better fate, but the offense couldn't get anything going against right-hander Chris Stratton that night.
Brian Dozier will lead it off for the Dodgers. Here's your LA lineup brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealer.
Dozier will be at second base. Justin Turner at third base. Manny Machado at short. Matt Kemp out in left field. David Freese will be at first base. Kike Hernandez in center field. Yasiel Puig in right field. Austin Barnes doing the catching, and lefty Clayton Kershaw on the mound.
Dozier starts it off, 227 and 20 homers. D-backs have three infielders on the left side against him. Foul ground for Goldie, first base side, if it stays playable, but it's off the roof of the dugout. E.D. Marshall Jewelers gives us a look around the Diamondbacks defense. Only took 6 months to get that right.
David Broughton left, A.J. Pollock in center, Steven Souza Jr. in right field. It'll be Escobar and Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Marte and Goldschmidt on the right side with Jeff Mathis behind the plate for lefty Patrick Corbin.
Jeff catching back-to-back starts here. He was behind the plate last night for Zach Greinke. Dozier singled here Thursday. That's been his only hit in the series. 0 for 3 last night. Back in the leadoff spot against the lefty.
Talking about doing the lineups, I remember playing here back in the day, and of course they would read the Dodger lineup, and the guy was jumping out of the booth yelling and screaming, and then they'd read the visiting team lineup. Leading off, Brian Dozier. Batting second, Justin Turner.
Hard to third. Escobar is there. And Dozier's retired. Here comes the Red Menace. Justin Turner, 3 hits in the series. The home run last night off Greinke. First pitch of the bottom of the 8th was the difference in last night's ball game.
It had to feel like getting an early Christmas gift, just a hanging slider that stayed right there in the middle of the plate for Justin Turner.
Corbin facing Turner for the first time this year. Turner has given Patrick a lot of problems in the past. He's a guy who makes a living just crushing left-hand sliders. That is obviously Patrick's best pitch. So he's starting with fastballs away, but it's 2-0. You've noticed that the on-deck hitter Manny Machado, we've mentioned this a couple of times, he likes to take his time once he gets up to bat. And so we got a little something cooked up for him.
Okay, look forward to that.
Being careful with Turner, 3-0. Yeah, Manny's in no rush to get up there. Oh, fastballs, a strike, 3-1. Turner is just killing it right now. He's hitting an even 400 since the All-Star break. Little discussion with Dan Bellino back there.
Bellino's heard something from every hitter in the ball game so far.
That's not good. All right, here's Manny Machado, and let's time him and see how long it takes to get into the box. He's in no hurry.
Let's get out of the on-deck circle first.
That's a good start.
I read an article online last week that was talking about the pitch clock in baseball as the clock continues to run on Manny Machado.
Now he's actually in the box, but he's not even ready to hit yet.
No, not even close.
No, we got to back out again. Just get settled in. You were saying?
Yeah, they were talking about the pitch clock and trying to get the pitchers up on the rubber and let's go keep the game moving. Well, that's going to affect some hitters as well. Manny Machado being one of them. Odubel Herrera from the Phillies, another guy that takes forever to get in the box.
Good hard slider, and Machado swings over the top. He was 0 for 4 last night. He struck out twice. 302 and 33 home runs. He homered here Thursday night. Yeah, you're right. We're going to keep this pace of play thing going. Of course, you know, he played in Baltimore. The Orioles have a great tradition, but Baltimore is not the media market that Los Angeles is. You know, they used to call this place, of course, 10 years ago, Mannywood.
Yeah.
When Manny Ramirez was acquired midseason and hit like 9,000. So Machado may be feeling a little bit of that. In fact, let's compare. Remember the difference that Manny Ramirez made when the Dodgers acquired him. That was back in 08. Now 10 years later, it's Mannywood Part 2 with Manny Machado, and those are the numbers so far after the same number of games.
Manny Machado, obviously a very good player, great player for that, but we've got a ways to go to catch up with the other Manny.
We all do, each of us in our own way.
Yes.
through and one.
We can only aspire to be Manny-like.
That's exactly right. Good fastball down and away, and it's 2-2 on Machado. Matt Kemp on deck. Fastball in the dirt. Mathis keeps it in front, and it's full on Machado, 3-2. Turner does not run. He's had some knee problems over the years. Three-two to Machado. Down the line, but foul. How was that slider? Machado, you got to be careful. You can't make a mistake. He's homered in 4 of his last 6 games, including Thursday night. Turner holds it first. Machado lines it to right. Souza's there. 2 down.
Left fielder, number 27, Matt Kemp.
Here's Kemp. 283, 18 homers. He did not appear in the game last night. He singled twice in Thursday's opening. Turner, the runner at first, and 2 outs for Patrick. 2 pretty good hitters right there. Starts him off with that slow curveball, snakes it through the back door and steals strike 1.
We saw that curveball, the big slow curveball from Zach Greinke was a real good weapon for him against this Dodgers lineup last night. Of course, they were loaded with left-handed hitters to face Greinke last night.
And tonight, as we saw Thursday against Robbie Ray, a lot of those lefties on the bench for Dave Roberts. No Bellinger in the lineup, no Grandal, who's a switch hitter, no Max Muncy. So some big left-hand bats on the bench for LA. That'll come into play later on tonight. 0-2 to Kemp. Fly ball, shallow right center, and Souza's under it. Patrick Corbin strands that one out walk. No score in LA.
D-backs win. Get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Eduardo Escobar will lead it off against Clayton Kershaw. We've talked about Bob Kershaw's increased reliance on his slider and his curveball.
Yeah, and there's a difference in the two pitches. The slider's a little sharper, a little later, a little harder. The curveball's bigger and rounder and comes out of his hand a little bit differently. And we'll show you in just a moment here and see if you can tell the difference.
Escobar, 276, 19 home runs. This is a high fly ball, deep left field, and that ball is gone. Eduardo Escobar, and for the third consecutive game, the Diamondbacks strike first in LA with a home run.
Shortstop number 13, Nick Ahmed.
Ambush. First pitch fastball from Clayton Kershaw, inner third of the plate, and Eduardo Escobar cast it high in the air to left center field. Right time of day to hit a high fly ball to left field. That one got out of here about 5 rows deep.
Jumbo Jack, free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Courtesy of Eduardo Escobar, his 20th of the year. Nick Ahmed. Right back to Kershaw. Dozier hustles over there and makes the play. They get Nick at first.
Sure, the Diamondbacks are going to want to take a look right there, but boy, what an athletic play by Brian Dozier going up the middle of the field right there. Gets by Kershaw. It's on the shortstop side of second base. A sliding stop, gets up and throws all in one motion, and he got Nick at first base. What a play.
Yep, no challenge, clearly out. Tel Marte now. Marte batting .251, 10 home runs. Fastball is low. Kershaw still throwing those fastballs in there. Ketel hitless last night. He singled twice in Thursday's series opener. That was well off the plate, but Dan Bellino says strike one. Fastball at 88 miles an hour.
I'm not sure what it is about Dodger Stadium that lights up Ketel Marte so much, but he put on a show in batting practice.
Turner at third. Well, he's all about the swag. He likes the Hollywood vibe.
We talked about that long home run he hit last year that very nearly hit the roof of the pavilions out there in left field. And in batting practice, he was regularly dropping balls out there in the back of the bleacher seats.
Jeff Mathis once again behind the plate for the Diamondbacks. Jeff at 219. Was up 3 times last night, struck out 3 times. Kershaw sticking with that fastball the first time through. A fly ball to center for Kike Hernandez. Well, Thursday it was David Peralta who struck first. Last night it was Paul Goldschmidt. Tonight, Eduardo Escobar, a solo homer. D-backs grab the early lead. play. Eduardo Escobar's 20th home run of the year has given D-backs the early lead. We are back in the fight for postseason. Cheer on your D-backs back at home when we return next week to face the Padres and the Braves. These are games you don't want to miss. Every game counts. We are fewer than 30 to go now. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Back in the fight for postseason. The Dodger debut of David Freese, acquired yesterday from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's in at first base today. Freese hitting .282, 9 home runs. He's a rental for the Dodgers. He'll be a free agent at the end of this year. Picked up yesterday for a minor leaguer. They are and have been, the Dodgers, on a constant search to get better against left-hand pitching. So they have added Machado and Dozier, and now they add Freese to the mix, another right-hand bat. He can play third and first, pinch hit.
He's been pretty consistent from both sides, or rather against both righties and lefties. As you mentioned, hitting .284 against left-handers, .281 against righties, but figures to slot in mostly against left-handed pitching.
And he's got a base hit in his first at bat as a Dodger. This is September 1st, of course, meaning September roster expansion. Each team added about 7-8 guys for this one, so it's going to get crowded in the dugout for the rest of the month.
Yeah, the rosters expand, but the clubhouse and dugouts do not.
Here's Kike Hernandez in center field tonight, .236. Those 19 home runs already a career high. Of course, he had the pinch hit home run with 2 outs in the 7th last night to tie the game at 2. His second pinch hit home run this year. Fastball is a strike, says Dan Bellino. Bellino's got a big strike zone. He is very much a pitcher friendly umpire, if you haven't noticed by now. Doesn't give Patrick the low strike call that time. Batters in games umpired by Dan Bellino when he's got the plate are hitting .219 this year. That's the 3rd lowest batting average among all major league umpires. They're keeping Souza busy out there. Back to the warning track and right. So here's what September looks like to this point for the Diamondbacks. They, of course, added catcher Chris Stewart, acquired the other day from Atlanta. Socrates Brito is here. Chris Owens has been here. He was taking batting practice throughout this series. And in the bullpen, you've added Jimmy Sherfy, Matt Cook, Silvino Bracho. And more guys are expected on the way. Matt Andriese got the start last night for Visalia. They're trying to stretch him out. He got 3 2/3 innings last night. And so there are more guys on the way. We'll see Ildemaro Vargas here. Christian Walker was already called up, so it's all hands on deck for the rest of this month. Here's Yasiel Puig. Puig at .262, 15 home runs.
Yeah, different organizations have different philosophies when it comes to September call-up. Sometimes it's just to reward a guy for a really good year at the minor league level. Other times you only call up guys that you figure can help you in the month of September win some ball games. Maybe a specific skill, just a fast runner to use as a pinch runner late in the game. Maybe a left-handed power bat, maybe a left-handed specialist out of the bullpen.
One and one. You may have noticed some of the players, all the coaches, the umpires wearing these bright yellow gold wristbands. This is to promote the fight against childhood cancer. It is a league-wide initiative, Childhood Cancer Awareness Day. And there are, you see the gold pins on the fronts of the jerseys and the gold wristbands everywhere. So that is Childhood Cancer Awareness Day today. Both teams participating, as is indeed the whole league. Puig Hits it up in the air, shallow left center. Peralta and AJ coming in. And Pollock's got it.
Well, like we talked about with Clayton Kershaw throwing a lot of fastballs early, so is Patrick Corbin. Fastball inside off the plate right there to start the sequence. Got the call with one down at the bottom of the zone. Fouled away a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and finally gets the slider in the strike zone and lofts that lazy fly ball to AJ in center. Our nationwide vision center's eye on the game.
The catcher tonight is Austin Barnes. He bats 8th. Hitting .200 with 1 home run. That slider missed away. Barnes singled. He was behind the plate in Thursday's series opener. Patrick able to strand a 1-out walk in the first and trying to get around the leadoff single here in the second. Fastball just off the corner, but strike 1, says Dan Bellino. Freese does not run, no stolen bases this year. Barnes has only started 14 games in the season's second half. He's hitting only .147 since the All-Star break. He has really nosedived offensively after a good year last year.
Yeah, hitting .200 on the season. He's driven in 8 runs in 87 ball games.
2 balls and a strike. That's smothered at third by Escobar. Tries to recover. Throw pulls Goldie off the bag. It would have been a tough play anyway. But Escobar able to prevent that one from getting up the left field line.
Probably saved 2 Dodger runners in scoring position with this diving stop. Just knocked it down by the time he recovers and fires across. Barnes had beaten it out at first base, but that's much better than second and third.
And you do have the pitcher spot up now as Clayton Kershaw is the hitter. Kershaw does have 8 base hits this year. He's knocked in 4 runs. 2 on and 2 out. Here's that Corbin slider.
Kershaw hitting .222 on the season, as you can clearly see there on our bug down in the right corner, but he's walked 5 times. That tells me he's got a better idea than most pitchers up there. What's a strike and what isn't.
Just missed away. I guess it also tells you that he goes up there with a plan. He's not mailing in these at bats like we see a lot of pitchers do.
Sounds like somebody else we know that pitches for the Diamondbacks, the right-hander, last night. Zach Greinke, he gives you a tough at bat every time up there.
He's got a Silver Slugger award, Zach Greinke. Fastball away, and Patrick is behind in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Patrick had a 20-pitch first, now approaching a 20-pitch second as well. Freese at second, Barnes at first.
It's going to be one of those flip a coin nights.
You got 2 really good pitchers and a big strike zone. That's the low strike on that slow curveball. See Mathis bring that glove up just a bit. And Dan Bellino says strike 2. Waves at a slider, and Patrick strands 2. He gets his first strikeout. We're in LA. It's 1-0 Diamondbacks.
the bottom. So I mean, these guys especially, they can hit the ball at the ballpark at any moment. So it's just, you just got to be on your game. I know they're going to be on their game. I need to be on mine.
Love that comment from Patrick Corbin. Todd Walsh back here at Dodger Stadium, top 3. Arizona leading Los Angeles 1-0. The full interview up on our social media platforms. And not surprised that Patrick, guys, wouldn't bite on my whole king of hyperbole. Saturday night, Dodger Stadium, Kershaw, Corbin, September 1st. One game separating the teams. He's unflappable in that way.
Way to stir the pot.
Just tried, you know, doing the best I can.
I often think of you as the Don King of Sideline Report.
Only in America. Thank you.
There you go.
But I will say, one of the things that we did talk about as this inning is about to begin is I can't think of a week in which we have seen this late in the year the starting pitching of this Arizona Diamondback team from game 1 all the way up until tonight. It has been unbelievable, and that is certainly bodes well for the rest of this month.
Well, they have insisted, not just Torrey, but Mike Hazen and his whole front office, that starting pitching is where this team is led, the starters, and that's certainly been the case all year long, especially lately with the offense starting to score some runs. The offense is certainly not at a panic point just yet, but in the last 9 games, counting tonight, 74 innings, the Diamondbacks have scored in only 10 of those 74 innings.
And of those 10, I would venture a guess that most of them came in the first, second, or third inning of the ball game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Last night, the Goldie home run in the top of the first made it 2-0, and they ended up losing 3-2. And only 3 more hits after the first inning last night. Goldie's 31st of the year. 1-2 on Corbin. And Kershaw gets the strikeout. MLB.TV now available at a lower price, $49.99. Lets you watch every out-of-market regular season game and get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Now you've got your basic blackouts and your other restrictions. So visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. Steven Souza Jr. Kershaw strikes out Corbin to start the third, coming off an 8-pitch second, which included the Eduardo Escobar home run, the only run of the game so far. Manny Machado at shortstop. Low throw and a scoop by Freese, able to hang on. He's not played a lot of first base. He's played some, sparingly with Pittsburgh, but he's down there at first tonight in his Dodger debut.
Yeah, 54 games at third for the Pirates, only 15 across the diamond at first base, but boy, a nice scoop right here on a short hop.
It looked for a moment like it might get behind him. A low throw from Machado. And Kershaw's retired 5 in a row. Here's AJ, who flied out his first time up. A fastball from Kershaw, 0-1. Statcast AI powered by AWS. Dodgers have 3 infielders on the left-hand side against AJ. Almost to sail like the pitch that Zach Greinke threw last night.
I was just thinking the same thing. Zach Greinke tried to throw a breaking ball in the game last night. It slipped out of his fingers and went over everybody all the way to the backstop in the air.
He was really upset about that too. He was not happy with himself. It looked funny, but he was not laughing. He almost hit Larry King. Two strikes on AJ.
I don't want to say anything, partner,
Yeah,
but there's been 2 foul balls right underneath us up here, both caught by Diamondbacks fans.
That kind of night. AJ fouled that one off his foot. Yeah, we've got a good size representation here on enemy territory. There they are, D-backs fans. Some just below us. Leading the National League West by 1 game over these Dodgers. And we're in September, only 27 games to go. AJ able to check. Yes, he was. Adam Hamari, 2-2. First time since 2011 that the Diamondbacks have entered September holding the division lead. 1 up on the Dodgers, 1.5 games ahead of Colorado. AJ hits a fly ball to center field. Kike Hernandez near the warning track. 6 straight retired by Kershaw, but the D-backs hold a 1-0 lead. DJ LeMahieu in San Diego, a home run for the Rockies. Hunter Renfroe has hit 2 home runs for the Padres, but right now Colorado holds a 3-2 lead. They're in the 5th inning at Petco Park. A critical game in the National League West. 3 teams all within 1.5 games of one another for the division lead. For the D-backs, it's 1 up on LA and 1.5 ahead of the Rockies. Brian Dozier, the leadoff man, leads off the 3rd against Patrick Corbin. Slow curveball. It's a strike 0-1. Patrick so far has walked 1, struck out 1. You've got the Red Menace, Justin Turner, on deck. He was the base on balls. Patrick trying to put Dozier away. A ball and 2 strikes. Dozier, the Dodger. He's got 4 home runs in 27 games since he got to LA, but he's only hit .227 here. Made a tremendous defensive play earlier in the ball game tonight. 2-2. Boy, you look around this Dodgers infield. They picked up Freese from Pittsburgh yesterday. They got Dozier from Minnesota at the deadline. They got Machado from Baltimore in the middle of July. They keep adding new pieces.
Rebuilding on the fly.
Yeah. And Patrick gets his 2nd strikeout. Well, it's going to be a difficult call for National League Player of the Month. The Red Menace, Justin Turner, and David Peralta. These guys are the clear front runners. Bob, your thoughts?
It's easy for me.
Well, I have what I hope is the deciding vote right here. This is, oh, we're going this way? Okay, why don't I just let you direct the show, Masa? This is my National League ballot. And you can't see, but I've got, well, now I have to change it to Turner. That one rolls to the track. Turner hustling in there, digging for a second. David can't pick it up.
It looked like there might be a play at second base there. David got to the spot in left center field, but when he tried to hit the brakes, it looked like he lost his footing out there on the turf in left center field.
They call it a double for Turner, his 20th.
All right, there he gets to the ball in good shape, but when he goes to plant that left foot, it just slides right out from under him, eliminating any chance of making a throw to second base.
Well, there they were head to head. We've got Peralta on our ballot for National League Player of the Month, but Turner is at second, one out from Machado, who lined out to right his first time up. Mathis trying to get out of the way in that long backswing from Machado.
That's because he got hit in the back of the helmet last night on a Manny Machado backswing. So that time Jeff Mathis devised an exit plan there as he picked that ball out of the dirt.
Yeah, run.
He reaches down and he knows that backswing is coming, so he leans to the right.
0-1. Keeps that slider in front. Foul at third. Patrick Monday in San Francisco pitched very well. Gave up just 2 runs, 4 hits in 7. 9 strikeouts. The only runs you may recall coming on that Steven Duggar line drive homer. The first home run Corbin had given up since June 16th. He'd gone 11 straight starts without surrendering a home run. 1-2 on Machado. Fastball is high, lays off. 2-2. Patrick struck out a dozen Dodgers at Chase Field April 4th. That was his second start of the year. Followed that with back-to-back starts versus LA in the first week of May. Gave up just 1 earned run each time. He's pitched very well against these guys this year. Machado putting up a fight.
Well, certainly part of that can be attributed to the fact that when Patrick pitches, the left-handed hitters go to the bench.
Yeah, that's been a big problem for LA last couple of years now. Got all the big lefties on the bench. Bellinger, Muncy, Grandal down there. There's Alex Verdugo on the left. He was among the call-ups today with expanded rosters. Tim LeCastro. Andrew Tolles is back. Another foul ball behind Chris Woodward at third. Now the Dodgers today brought up Kyle Farmer, Tim LeCastro, Andrew Tolles, Alex Verdugo. They've acquired Freese and Ryan Madsen, the reliever. They brought Zach Roscoff back, and they reinstated Chase Utley from the DL. So they are loaded down there on that bench. He gets Machado swinging at a slider. Mathis will have to clean it up. He is out, says Dan Bellino.
Sure, Manny's arguing that he got a piece of that slider in the dirt.
27, Matt Kemp.
It didn't look like it, but once again, that long backswing, he ends up hitting the ball after Jeff Mathis had blocked it in the dirt.
Saw Bellino motioning to his leg. Right there. Made contact. So here's Matt Kemp, who flied out his first time. Two outs, Turner at second. It's a big advantage for Patrick if he can start hitters out with that slow curveball and land it for a strike. He's missed, I think, more often than he's thrown it for a strike so far tonight. Good slider down at the knees, 1-1. Kemp has faded down the stretch. He was an all-star at midseason. He hit just .214 in August. So he's kind of dried up here. Only 9 RBI since the All-Star break. No, he didn't. Adam Hamari, 2-1. Dodgers reacquired Matt Kemp from Atlanta in December. It was essentially an accounting exercise. They sent 4 players to the Braves whose salaries were roughly equal to Kemp's, but because Kemp had 2 years left on his deal, they could spread that money out, take a lower salary hit this year, and stay below the luxury tax. And then Kemp showed up 40 pounds lighter at Camelback Ranch and was an all-star. Well, he's been quiet since the All-Star break, 2-2. The newest Dodger, David Freese, would be next.
In the last few years, it seems like Matt Kemp spends most of the second half of the season on and off of the disabled list, but perhaps losing the 40 pounds in much better physical shape this year. It's just a question of ineffective offense in the second half rather than physical injury.
Yeah, he showed up in Glendale this spring and they didn't even recognize him. He dropped 40 pounds. He worked out at Max Muncy's gym all winter long. They had a whole group that worked out together, and it really worked for Kemp. A lot of that is diet, of course, he says.
You have to do those push-aways.
Push away the potato chips.
Push away from the table.
Patrick at 60 pitches, 38 for strikes. He's been at or over 20 pitches at all 3 innings so far. Swing and a miss. Another slider, 4 strikeouts for Patrick, 3 in that inning. We're set for the top of the 4th in LA, and Goldie will lead it off.
Here at Dodger Stadium, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at those participating locations.
Paul Goldschmidt leads off the 4th. He reached on a catcher's interference call. His first time up. Clayton Kershaw only at 37 pitches through 3 innings. Goldie 4 hits in the series. He doubled and homered last night. His 17th career home run in this ballpark. 3 of them coming this year. Down right away, 0-2. Machado right to him at shortstop. Seven straight set down by Kershaw brings up David Peralta.
Number 6, David Peralta.
Kike Hernandez in center, shades way over to left center field. There's no one in center field right now.
I think the Dodgers do this for David Peralta with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, figuring he's not going to get out in front of that fastball. He's more likely to hit it to the opposite field, so they're giving him center and the right field line.
Yeah, Puig is way over in right center. 1-1. Showed you David's numbers for last month. Hopefully he wins the Player of the Month award. 361 in August with 10 home runs.
It certainly would be nice to be rewarded for the month that David has had, but it doesn't take anything away from how effective he has been every day this month.
He has been their most consistent hitter all season long. But August was special. That was next level stuff.
Yeah, I mean, David's had a couple of very brief stretches where he wasn't raking this summer, and even then he was making outs on hard hit balls.
This is tapped to second. Dozier collects it. Shovel toss to Freeze. 2 down in the 4th. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. Eduardo Escobar is 20th this year. The only hit for the Diamondbacks so far. Escobar's 5th home run as a D-back.
That home run came on the very first pitch he had ever seen from Clayton Kershaw.
Owns him.
He does.
There's that big Kershaw curveball. Kershaw has retired all 8 batters he's faced since that Escobar homer. Doubles up on the curve and gets the call from Bellino. Yeah, 1-2. That slider coming in right at the knees at 89. Good luck.
And it's especially effective after 2 big, slow breaking balls. And you're thinking maybe in the back of your mind, well, he's going to show me a fastball somewhere here. You see that hard slider. It looks a lot like Kershaw's fastball, and you end up swinging right over the top.
Tried the fastball that time. Yeah, Kershaw really leaning on that slider. He's throwing it more than 40% of the time. That is the highest rate of his career. He throws the slider as often as he throws the fastball. Tap to short. Machado. 9 straight retired by Kershaw. 1-0 Diamondbacks.
young guy pitching for the Red Sox. Well, that's Clay Buchholz making his second major league start back in '07 and threw a no-hitter. Finished it up with that big overhand curveball, setting off a celebration at Fenway Park. And you being from the Northwest, partner, you know what that's like when a young pitcher comes to the Red Sox and does something like that early in his career. They expect it every time out.
Clay Buchholz gets the baseball for the D-backs here tomorrow against rookie Walker Buehler. David Freese leads off the fourth. The newest Dodger acquired yesterday from the Pirates for a minor leaguer. If you're a subscriber to the Athletic website, Peter Gammons, the great Peter Gammons, had a tremendous write-up on Clay Buchholz and his relationship with Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo going back to those days in Boston. And he has become the pitcher they always knew that he could be again, but in a very different way than when he was throwing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs at the Orioles. And Freese takes one off the foot. Well, he's been aboard twice, a single and a hit batter. And that brings up Kike Hernandez.
Number 14, Kike
Saw
Hernandez.
Eduardo Escobar get hit by a couple of Young Jin Ryu sliders down and in on that back foot last night. Patrick Corbin held on to that slider just a little bit too long and put David Freese on the back foot.
Patrick with a long stare into the dugout here. Does he want a challenge?
Well, Mathis immediately was complaining to home plate umpire Dan Bellino that that ball did not hit Freese.
Patrick was halfway between the mound and home plate staring into the D-back dugout.
Well, he lifted the back leg. The ball hit him as he lifted that back leg off the ground to supposedly let that slider go underneath.
He chose not to challenge. Here's Hernandez. There's the slow curveball for strike. Kike flied out to right his first time. Hernandez has had a hot bat lately, homered last night. He just hit .352 in the month of August. Well, they have, Bob, hit a lot of foul balls against Patrick Corbin tonight. They've really made him work. Patrick had a 20-pitch first, a 20-pitch second, and a 21-pitch third. And the foul balls are starting to pile up. Freese does not run.
Just to let him know that you know that he's over there.
George Lombard coaching at first. Oh, Goldie got a chuckle on that one anyway.
For a catcher, that was almost like as good as getting a base hit. If you could draw a pickoff throw to first base, it made you feel good. I must look fast today.
Well, it's just like the Jake Lamb scenario. Somewhere there's a scouting report by a guy who once saw him stole a base. Here's the slider, and Hernandez goes down swinging. That's 5 strikeouts for Patrick. He's punched out now. 3 of the last 4 he's faced.
Yeah, real nice job that time against Kike Hernandez. For me, a really good high ball hitter, high fastball hitter. He started with that big slow curve, missed off the plate away, That's a dangerous pitch right there. That 91 up and out over the plate. He misses down low with a slider and then gets Hernandez to chase another slider below the bottom of the zone. Just be careful with those fastballs up and away, as he showed us last night. Our Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game.
4 strikeouts for Corbin the second time through the order. Here's Puig, who flied out to center in the second. There's that fastball right there. Does not get the call from Dan Bellino.
Every night.
A lot of room on the right-hand side for Puig. Fastball, same spot, gets a swing and a miss. Puig, for whatever reason, is not hitting lefties this year. He's a .212 hitter against left-hand pitchers. Hitless against Robbie Ray Thursday. Fastball misses in, 2 balls and 1 strike. To third, under the glove of Escobar, who tried to make the backhand stop, and Freese will stop at third. They say E5 on Escobar as the ball got under that glove and rolled up the line.
Gets that slider as it was headed down and in. Believe we've seen Escobar make a lot tougher plays than that. Maybe just got fooled by the speed of that ground ball. Got the glove down a little bit late.
Oh, the way this offense has struggled to score runs, you can't give the Dodgers multiple chances to score. Second and third, only 1 out. Here's Austin Barnes, who singled by Escobar his first time up. Eduardo was able to knock it down. And check on the slow curveball. Well, the one benefit here is you've got the 8 and 9 hitters due up, Barnes and Kershaw. But Patrick has really had to work tonight. David Freese at third. Yasiel Puig at second. 1 out in the 4th. Laced down the line and foul. Nice catch by Sean.
There you go, Sean. Positioned perfectly.
Sean not easily rattled down there. Just very casual. Done this before.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's bunt on him. See if he can handle that.
That would work. That would strike Barnes out right here. 0-2. Mathis has really got to get dirty back there. Keep Freese at third. Bouncing some of these sliders.
No, I never looked forward to a game where I had a pitcher on the mound that threw a lot of balls in the dirt, but I think Jeff Mathis does look forward to these games. He's so good at blocking pitches in the dirt.
Got that glove cover in the 5-hole. Gets up high like that. Well, they had him. Somehow he got a piece.
Everybody
Kershaw on deck. Corbin's got it, and they have Freeze hung up. Puig is over there as well, and they get out number 2. 1-2 on the putout. Puig at third and Barnes at first.
Nice athletic play by Patrick Corbin that time, ranging to his right, kind of throwing back against his body as he was headed toward foul territory. And a no-throw rundown right there. Jeff Mathis just chases Freeze all the way back to the bag at third. That's standard operating procedure. Just run him all the way back to the base. You end up with 2 Dodgers there, and one of them's going to be out. But that time, Mathis was able to get to Freeze before he got back to the bag.
And Corbin struck out Kershaw to win the second inning. He's up there now, 2 outs and runners in the corners. Keep in mind, it's Puig who's down there at third, and you know they call him the wild horse for a reason. He may jump the gate at any moment.
Yeah, I forget who it was against last week, but he did try to steal home against a left-handed pitcher.
Chris Woodward coaching at third for the Dodgers. Barnes at first. Escobar at third. He bobbles it, recovers, and does get Kershaw just in time. An adventure there for Eduardo Escobar, but somehow the Diamondbacks escape, and it stays 1-0. He had an E5 earlier in this inning, almost booted that one. Whew.
Your family, and I go, wow, okay, here's a brother that went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Here's a brother that went to Holy Cross, which is a wicked hard school to get into in Western Massachusetts. What was that like?
You know, I went to UConn, which is not really a slouch of a school by any means. It's a top 30 public university, I think. But I was the dumb one of the 3, unfortunately. I was just trying to keep up.
Of course, Nick Ahmed has a brother, Mike, who's in the Dodgers organization. Cup of Coffee with Nick Ahmed debuts after our game tomorrow, right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Tom Walsh, your thoughts?
I just wanted to add, he'll be on the pregame show with sort of a prequel to your show tomorrow. And Steve, Nick and I talked today, and he was blown away that there was so much material that we're running deleted scenes as our walk-up to your cup of coffee, and he wanted to know, are these bloopers, are they mistakes? And I said, no, it's just, we call it value added in the business. We had like a director's cut. He couldn't believe it.
Well, yeah, each interview probably takes 45 minutes to an hour with Steven and with Nick, and you know, you've only got, I think, what, 21 or 22 minutes of airtime. So a lot of it ends up on the cutting room floor. But we are, as you mentioned, able to save some kind of good snippets that didn't quite make the cut to tease the audience, as you say in the business.
For the Blu-ray edition, if you
That's right.
want that, or the laser disc.
The home set. Nick leads off the 5th. Diamondbacks have only one base hit, Eduardo Escobar's home run, to lead off the 2nd inning against Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw has not had to work nearly as hard as Patrick Corbin has tonight, but Patrick's got the lead. Kershaw very efficient, an 8-pitch second, a 13-pitch third, coming off a 12-pitch fourth. He has retired the last 9 Diamondbacks he's faced. It's a fly ball to shallow center for Kike Hernandez. Hey fans, you can get a $15 lower level ticket to this week's games against the Padres coming up Monday or Tuesday by using our Labor Day discount. Get your discounted tickets right now, dbacks.com/labor. 2 games against San Diego coming up Monday and Tuesday. A lower level ticket for just $15. Ketel Marte grounded out his first time. Padres have been very good Diamondback supporters so far in their series with Colorado. They've won the first 2 games of that series. This is popped up behind the mound. Freese has got it right now. However, the Rockies are leading at San Diego. It's 4-2 as they head to the top of the 7th at Petco Park. Rockies a game and a half behind the D-backs.
The Padres have been very Diamondbacks friendly when they play the Diamondbacks. D-backs have won 10 out of the 14 games against the Padres this year.
And we have 2 more series against San Diego, Monday and Tuesday, the 3rd and 4th, and then we finish the year, the final weekend of the season at Petco Park, the 28th, 29th, and 30th of September. Those could be enormously important.
Oh, yeah.
games. Jeff Mathis flied out his first time.
And dangerous for a different reason. We know the Padres are looking at some of their younger players, calling up some of their potential stars of the future, and you don't have a lot of scouting build up on those young players. That's always dangerous to play those kind of teams late in the season.
Yeah, ask the Rockies about Franmil Reyes.
Yeah.
Who's hit a couple of home runs in that series, including a walk-off Thursday night. Ball just off the plate. And Bellino has been consistent, if nothing else. 1-2 on Mathis. A little too far out there. Kershaw is using the other side of the plate much more frequently this year. He used to pitch fastball in, slider down. Now it's a little more backdoor slider, a little slower fastball away to right-hand hitters. Down with it that time. And Kershaw has retired 12 straight Diamondbacks. But it's 1-0 D-backs.
You know, I was up and down and back and forth and getting sent out on birthdays. It just, this game is very unforgiving. It doesn't matter sometimes, but he took it right in stride and got back here, and that's the bottom line.
Today, but I really wanted you to hear Torey Lovullo's comments about Chris Owings and his recall, the conversation that he had with him back on August 4th when they sent him down to Reno. And Bob, I thought you'd have a little empathy to that. Some of those conversations I know can be very difficult, but Torey clearly drawing on the experience that he had as a journeyman major leaguer. And Chris Owings has been a big part of things around here on the field and certainly in the room, as I like to say. And you could just sense there was pain in his voice as he talked about that moment back in August.
I've said it many times in the past, Todd, when we've talked about similar issues. That for me was the worst part of the job of manager. I mean, losses, you know you're going to lose some ball games. That goes with the territory. You're going to have some tough losses, but man, having to call a guy in and either tell him that he's not good enough to stay at the major league level, or in some cases you don't think he's good enough to play in the big leagues anymore, and release guys, that was brutal. I hated that.
And this is a core group that's been together now through the minors and the majors for a long time. And CO is an enormous part of that core group. And they watched one of their own struggle and eventually end up in AAA.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And we saw Chris with that season-ending injury a couple of years ago. You can just see the look on his face. I remember when he walked away from that stadium back east, he knew his season was done. The interview with Torey and Chris is on our social media platforms. And guys, if we got a second, I want to take you into the clubhouse for what it was like after that game last night.
Over the mound, Marte at second on the short hop, and they retire Dozier.
Very quickly. Hardest part of the job for what I do, going into a room like last night after a couple of tough decisions by the manager. They backfire, the game goes south. And I just want to speak to the accountability all over that room. Torey Lovullo, as you guys I'm sure heard on the post-game show, he knew what happened with those decisions. He backed them up, but obviously laments them in hindsight. Zach Greinke stood there and took the heat and said he made a bad pitch to Justin Turner. And Jeff Mathis then waited for us and was very clear about, hey, look, I knew I had to get a bunt down or move that runner over in the top of the 8th inning, and I didn't get the job done. And that tells me a lot about this group and maybe how they went into tonight's game as well.
Yeah, there's nobody down there that's going to hide behind a locker or anything. They are front and center all the time. Here's Turner, who has walked and doubled. A big part of that in talking with Torey today was the idea that, okay, Boxberger was down because he'd pitched back-to-back days.
Yep.
Chafin was down. Ziegler's worked a whole bunch lately, as has Yoshi. And they really did think that Greinke was their best chance to get Turner and Machado in the bottom half of that inning. And then that likely would have been it for Zach. He would have been gone before the end of that 8th.
And did you guys see when they made the pitching change, when they went out and got Zach, Torey Lovullo made a beeline back into the dugout, down to the other end of the dugout to find Zach Greinke, look him right in the eye and shake his hand.
That was as tough, Bob, a decision, I think, in game as you probably come across semi-regularly as a National League manager as they retire Turner for the first time tonight. Do you let the guy hit? Do you try and squeeze one more inning out of him? It's a tight game. It's late. I mean, every little ingredient was in that recipe.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, I think it compounded it a little bit because Zach has been able to handle the bat so well this year. I mean, obviously, the pitch count was in good shape. Torey said he liked the shape of his pitches, the way he was attacking hitters, even into the 7th inning of that ball game. Really, the pitching, I don't think, was the issue. I think it was more about, can we score a run somehow? And I think that's why a lot of fans, us included, wondered why not pinch hit for Mathis and Greinke and take your chances. You knew you had reinforcements coming up for the bullpen today. Maybe you have to overextend a guy or two for one more day, but then you can give them extended time off if necessary because of the reinforcements available in the bullpen.
And there was a big difference, I think, from the other night when John Ryan Murphy came up late and you thought, okay, you've got 3 catchers, why not pinch hit? Didn't have a lot of great right-hand options. You had some really good left-hand options last night with Jay and Descalso and Avila on the bench.
Yeah, it becomes a real balancing act. I mean, Torey said, you know, he felt that Zach Greinke deserved the chance to go back out there in the 8th as that one's jerked foul down the left field line. And then the more I thought about it last night, I thought about the guys who would have hit in that situation. John Jay, Daniel Descalso, that's why they're on this team. They probably deserved an opportunity or a chance in that situation as well. So it really gets to be a balancing act when you have to manage those 25 guys and try to figure out the best way to win a game.
It seemed like one of the biggest factors in that decision was the idea that it was Turner and it was Machado, that you knew you were going to have to get out in the bottom half of that inning. It wasn't, some guy just up from AAA.
And you throw in the fact it was the 4th time through the Dodgers lineup, and the numbers for every pitcher go way up when you ask them to work the 4th time through an opposing lineup, even if it's just 2 hitters.
Patrick facing Manny Wood for the 3rd time here tonight. He's got him to line out and strike out so far, and now trying to put him away on 1 and 2.
And the bottom line, it always comes down to do the players perform. I mean, but if Jeff Mathis gets that bunt down, I'm sure Torrey probably pulls the plug on Zach Greinke at that point. Now you've got a runner in scoring position with only 1 out in the inning. Maybe you pull the plug on Greinke at that point and fire one of your bullets off the bench. But we'll never know.
2 and 2 on Machado. Either way, it was a fascinating exercise
really
in National League Baseball.
Absolutely, and that's why I like the National League so much better than the American League. You have to make those kind of decisions as a National League manager all season long, not just late in the year when you're battling for a pennant. You have to make those decisions almost on a daily basis.
Wild swing as Machado falls over, and that's the end of the inning. Yeah, you're out, Manny. That's it. Corbin and Kershaw.
It sure has been. Patrick Corbin with that filthy slider. His curveballs are in real good for the most part. Dotting the bottom of that zone with that slider, gets swings and misses, and Clayton Kershaw just commanding the ball on both sides of the plate. That's double play lane right there. That fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Pitches down and away from Diamondbacks' right-handed hitter, just rolling over and hitting easy ground balls. This is exactly what we expected. They don't always come true when you have 2 good pitchers going head-to-head, but this one has lived up to its billing tonight.
Well, here we go. Corbin's night is done, and Christian Walker will hit for Patrick. Patrick's had to work a lot harder than Kershaw to get us to this point. So Walker hits for Corbin against Kershaw, who's retired the last 12 he's faced. And there it goes again. Christian Walker, one more time off Kershaw. He homered against him earlier this year. Christian Walker takes the first pitch out of here, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Right fielder, Steven Souza Jr.
Walker hit one to Mesa at Chase Field earlier this year against Kershaw, and this one was clubbed.
Boy, one thing about Clayton Kershaw's fastball, if he does make mistakes, it is laser beam straight. It doesn't even wiggle on its way to the plate, and Christian Walker was ready for it and absolutely murdered it to left center field.
That's foul in front of TP at third. Christian Walker, his second home run, both off Clayton Kershaw. And that's a jumbo jack for free tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Remember the one he hit against Kershaw earlier this year? I think it was about 479. It was one of the top home runs in the majors this year, distance-wise.
I think it still is certainly in the top 10, maybe in the top 5 on the season.
Souza having a discussion with Bellino here. You're not supposed to be able to go back to the on-deck circle and put some tar or chalk on that bat. So I think Stevens being scolded. That one beyond the reach of Kershaw. Machado bare hand play, and they got him.
Surprised to see him go to the bare hand right there, but what a barehanded play by Machado. Throws on the move that time. And it looks like they got him over there at first.
With that Christian Walker home run, Yoshihisa Hirano, it appears, will get the bottom of the 6th inning after Walker hits for Corbin. Here's AJ 0 for 2. It was May 1st at Chase Field. Christian Walker, as a pinch hitter, stepped up and hit one a mile off of Kershaw. And he just did it to him again. This was Walker and Kershaw, round 1, May 1st at Chase Field as a pinch hitter.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was about 480 up into Fridays. And he got him as a pinch hitter again tonight. Fastball is at the knees for a strike 2 and 1.
Well, maybe Clayton Kershaw will turn out to be Christian Walker's Tim Lincecum for Goldie.
Transitive property.
Yeah. Something like that.
I mean, if nothing else, he's got to be in his head at this point. That was clubbed out to deep left center. And Walker jumped on the first pitch. We didn't get a chance to show you the home run from May because he ambushed everybody, including our truck. They were all ready. But Christian beat us to the punch. 2-2 on AJ. That's fair at third for Turner. AJ 0 for 3. Here comes Goldie. Well, Kershaw so far through 5 2/3 has given up only 2 hits, both home runs. Escobar in the 2nd and now Walker in the 6th.
Coming into tonight, Kershaw had surrendered 11 home runs in 124 1/3 innings pitched. 2 in the ball game tonight.
That's a fair ball at third. Knocked down by Turner, and Goldie's aboard. So Goldie has now extended his D-backs record. He's reached base safely in 44 consecutive road games.
Just off the little finger of that glove, pushed further into foul territory. Goldie will reach easily with 2 outs in the inning.
A chance for David Peralta now. David 0 for 2. It's the third hit for the Diamondbacks. They're in the 8th inning in San Diego. The Rockies still lead the Padres. It's 4-2 Colorado. Hunter Renfroe has a pair of homers for San Diego.
Yeah, number 18 and 19 for Renfroe in that game. We showed you the DJ LeMahieu homer earlier for the Rockies. That was number 13 for him.
Kershaw 70 pitches, 52 strikes. Fastball away. 0-2 on David. Kershaw has been relentlessly efficient. 12 pitches in the 4th, 10 in the 5th. And now trying to put away Peralta to win the 6th. Kershaw has completed at least 6 innings in each of his last 10 starts. He's been pitching deeper and deeper into games as he's gotten healthier. He's actually finished 8 full innings twice in his last 3 starts. So despite some injury issues earlier this year, he's been saving that bullpen for Dave Roberts. He missed most of the month of May with tendonitis in his pitching arm, his left bicep. Came back at the end of May, made 1 start, and then missed another month with back trouble. Tapper to second, tricky play, and Dozier can't make it. That's an E4. Second Dodger error tonight.
And you have to wonder if Goldie running right in front of Dozier as he got ready to make this play made any difference. Dozier just clanked that ball. Wasn't a tough hop, wasn't a squirrely hop. Just didn't make the play cleanly.
2 on and 2 out for Eduardo Escobar, who homered in the 2nd, his 20th of the year.
Make it hurt.
Got a chance here. 2 on and 2 out. Got the big curveball. Goldie's at second. Peralta's at first. Escobar's home run in the 2nd, his 5th as a Diamondback. No strike call. 0-2. We hear the term low heartbeat guys all the time, guys that never get flustered or rattled by any particular situation. Escobar certainly fits that description. Ouch.
Oh, man.
His foot has had a very difficult series.
Yeah, this is off the left foot this time.
Oh,
he can't
right.
even limp on that right foot that he got hit twice last night. Oh,
yeah.
Man, out on the toes. Ouch.
It was the big toe on the back foot that got hit twice the other night. Here comes Ryan DePanflo to have a look at the left toe now.
He's having trouble putting weight on that left foot right now.
Dippy's going to give him some time to walk it off. Torrey's out there as well, keeping a careful eye. And Escobar will stay in the game.
Keep in mind that left foot is planted firmly when he comes down on that front side. That just hurts so bad. I can't even describe how badly that hurts. But I had a high school basketball coach. Once he realized everything was okay, he'd say, "How far is that from your heart?"
Okay, coach. Clear eyes, full hearts.
Yep.
0-2. Well, even that's too low for Dan Bellino. Swing and bunt. Kershaw picks it up and throws him out. Christian Walker has faced Clayton Kershaw in a couple of pinch hit appearances this year, and he's homered off him twice. This one launched deep into the LA night. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Christian Walker has 2 home runs this year, both off Clayton Kershaw, and the D-backs have a 2-0 lead. Hey, next weekend, D-backs Spanish broadcast is back on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Oscar Soria, Rodrigo Lopez, they'll be with you for the Braves series. Coverage in Spanish starts Friday, 6:30. Presented by your Valley Honda dealer. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. You can find your Fox Sports Arizona Plus channel listings at foxsportsarizona.com. Yoshihisa Hirano is on to start the 6th in relief of Patrick Corbin. Yoshi got that tremendous double play ball to end the 8th inning. And the D-backs 3-1 here Thursday night. And Matt Kemp will lead it off. Oh, there's a beach ball on the field.
What a shot.
Yeah, I'm stunned. There's Bob Stanley's rake when you need it. Good thing Souza wasn't wearing his goggles. He might have tried to take a big hack at that thing. Kemp 0 for 2. He's flat out struck out. And guess what? It's back on the field. How hard is it? Nicely done. That takes care of that. AJ's all smiles out there. It was Kemp who hit the double play ball against Yoshi to win that 8th inning here Thursday night. And check on the splitter. The bullpen should be in pretty decent shape tonight. Greinke and Diekman were the only two pitchers used in last night's game. Boxberger got a night off after saves Wednesday and Thursday. Chafin's worked a lot lately, as has Ziegler, but you should have Archie back. You've got TJ. Matt Andriese, by the way, pitched last night for Visalia as a starter. They're trying to stretch him out. Matt worked 3 2/3 for the Rawhide last night. And when you get Andriese back here, which might be as soon as tomorrow, that gives you some coverage in terms of length in the bullpen, and that, through the trickle-down effect, will let Torey Lovullo use TJ McFarland much differently than he's been using him. TJ's been the long man in that bullpen for a while now, but you can match him up lefty on lefty. You can bring him in earlier in the ballgame if you want, because you've got Andriese back there stretched out if you need some coverage. So that was the whole idea of sending Matt Andriese down to the minors. And people go, well, why is he way down in Visalia? Well, it's just simple logistics. It's closer, and he just needs to throw. And Matt, we're told, pitched very well last night, so they were very pleased. He got up to 3 2/3, just over 40 pitches or so. But that, in a sense, really does give Torey another weapon. And how he uses McFarland, as Dan Bellino calls that fastball off the plate like he's done all night, and rings up Kemp. Well, the Dodger fans booed like crazy when that ball well below the knees was not called a strike, and now they're booing when that one was. Here's David Freese. Splitter right there, 0-1. Freese has singled and was hit by a phantom pitch his last time up. Replay showed it didn't actually hit him in the foot, but the Diamondbacks chose not to challenge. Freese back in LA. He played 2 seasons with the Angels in 2014 and 2015. He's been with the Pirates the last 3 years, acquired yesterday. And Yoshi gets him to hack. And a pitch in the dirt. There's that split finger pitch. 2 down.
As a hitter, you feel forced to swing at a pitch like this because of the 2 previous calls down at the bottom of the strike zone. But what a filthy splitter that time from Yoshi.
Here's Hernandez, who has flied out, struck out 0 for 2. What's the record for most pine tar on a batting helmet ever?
Rougned Odor would be up near the top of that list.
Nice pull.
Craig Biggio, if you want to dig back into the archives a little bit, there's a lot of guys that have done this, but I could never figure out for the life of me why.
Well, we saw Souza try to go back to the on-deck circle before to get some more chalk or pine tar. Maybe he figures he's got it with him already. Just tap the bill of your helmet. That thing's all Fred Biletnikoffed up.
Yeah, the funny thing is the guys that do this, like Kike Hernandez, I haven't seen him touch his helmet yet.
Well, because it's too sticky. Doesn't work. Remember Fred Biletnikoff, the old Raiders receiver, covered in stickum? Lester Hayes. Until they finally had to outlaw that stuff in the NFL. 2-1 on Hernandez. At the fastball and fouled it off. It's 2-2. McFarland is ready in the Diamondback bullpen. 2-2 on Hernandez. We got another right-hander, Puig, on deck. And then Austin Barnes behind him. Coming at Kike with his fastball. Now it's full 3-2, so he's got him set up for the split if he wants it. D-backs leading the season series with LA, 9 wins to 5. These two teams separated by only 1 game for the NL West lead. The 3-2 to Hernandez. Got him. Went back to the fastball. And Yoshi strikes out the side in the 6th. He got Kemp. He got Freeze. And he gets Kike Hernandez. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks after 6. Solo home runs. Eduardo Escobar in the 2nd and Christian Walker in the 6th. Has been all the scoring in the game so far. Corbin versus Kershaw, each team with just 3 hits. And Clayton Kershaw back out to start the 7th. Nick Ahmed 0 for 2 will lead it off. Kershaw had to work hard in that last inning, the 6th. He threw 20 pitches, his most in any inning so far tonight. Fastball starting to slow down a little bit. Kershaw 80 pitches, 60 strikes. He has not walked a batter. He's only got 2 strikeouts. This is popped up high in the air near the line for Puig. Kershaw at one point, in fact, between the 2 home runs, Escobar to start the 2nd and Walker to start the 6th, retired every batter he faced 12 in a row. And now he gets Ahmed to start the 7th. Here's Ketel Marte 0 for 2. Kershaw has had only 1 3-ball count the entire ball game. He's thrown 17 first pitch strikes. Make it 18.
Some of them have actually been in the strike zone.
Well, there is that. And Bellino has had a pudgy strike zone, let's call it. Inside out swing. It's by Kershaw. Marte will reach. It died in no man's land out there past the pitcher and shy of the 2nd baseman Dozier.
Certainly not intentionally, but that'll work. Just a little cue shot off the end of the bat. Once it gets by Kershaw, there's no chance for Dozier to make that play. Infield single for Ketel Marte.
Well, the batter will be Jeff Mathis. Pitcher spot behind him, and Chris Owings is back. And CO is in the on deck circle. He would hit for Hirano. McFarland and Ziegler in the Diamondback bullpen right now. TJ's been ready for a while. Ziegler has just started throwing. Jeff is flying out, struck out. He's 0 for 2. Kershaw fastball pretty much topping out 87, 88-ish. Looks at a curveball and it's 0-2. Dodger bullpen is quiet. Pitcher spot is due up third in the bottom of the 7th for Los Angeles. Fastball misses away. We're in the 9th in San Diego. The Rockies lead the Padres 4-2. Here it's 2-0 D-backs.
Well, it would sure make things a lot easier for Torey Lovullo over the next couple of innings if you could clear that pitcher spot right here. As you said, Chris Owings in the on-deck circle. It's a hit for Yoshi Hirano. When you get that 9 spot out of the way, you can make whatever changes you feel are necessary without worrying about that pitcher spot possibly leading off the next inning.
And with September roster expansion, you've got no shortage of pinch hit possibilities. Diamondbacks today activated Chris Stewart, who they just acquired from Atlanta. Socrates Brito is here. Chris Owings is here. They've added pitchers Bracho, Cook, and Sherfy. 2-2 on Jeff Mathis. Kershaw's having trouble putting him away, and Mathis has worked at full 3-2. Just the second 3-ball count all night long for Kershaw. Ketel Marte at first. And Kershaw wins the battle.
It's a 4-seam fastball down that time. Oh, Jeff Mathis swings right over the top. Big hack that time in a 2-strike count.
Our first look at Chris Owings since August 2nd. CO has been here for a couple of days now, just activated today, but he's been here taking batting practice every day. 198 and 3 home runs. He hits for Hirano. McFarland and Ziegler both ready in the bullpen. 7, 8, 9 due up in the bottom of the 7th for the Dodgers. Chris Owings played 21 games with Reno last month. He was sent down in the first week of August. Hit 286 for the Aces, 1 home run. He's off the curveball. Now 90 pitches for Kershaw, 66 strikes. He has struck out 3. He's not walked a batter. No one warming up in the LA bullpen for Dave Roberts. Owings sends one to center. Hernandez is there. We stretch in LA. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 7th inning.
who is trailing 2-0. Fans arrive early to our game next Saturday, September 8th. It's Hispanic Heritage Day, presented by Bud Light. You'll enjoy a pregame D-backs APS Fiesta from 2 to 5 in the afternoon, including food, live music, a whole lot more. And the first 20,000 fans get the Ketel Marte Luchador bobblehead, courtesy of Pepsi. Visit dbacks.com. We'll see you at Chase Field next Saturday. Brad Ziegler on to work the bottom of the 7th inning. Yasiel Puig is the scheduled hitter. And Bellinger is up there to bat for Puig. Cody Bellinger hitting .260, 21 home runs. He doubled last night, his only hit in the series so far. Chase Utley, one of the recent call-ups or activations today for the Dodgers, is on deck. And he would hit for Austin Barnes. You got the pitcher spot behind him. So Dave Roberts here in the home half of the 7th is emptying the bench. He's got a lot of choices down there on September 1st. Grandal getting ready to hit. As Utley is set to hit for the catcher Barnes.
I would imagine Jock Peterson somewhere in the ballpark has a bat. Alex Verdugo, another power-hitting left-handed bat available for Dave Roberts.
All the lefties coming in now that Corbin is out of the game. Swing and a miss, and Ziegler strikes out Bellinger.
Boy, everything down, down, down. Just what you'd expect from Brad Ziegler. It's a changeup. You can see he kind of has that claw grip on the baseball. Gets Bellinger out front. That pitch ended up in the dirt. Boy, that's a good pitch for Brad Ziegler against the lefty. That straight changeup.
Diamondbacks pitchers have now struck out 6 consecutive Dodgers. Corbin got Turner and Machado. Yoshi got Kemp, Freese, and Hernandez. Ziegler strikes out Bellinger, and here's Utley to hit for Barnes. Chase Utley, .240 and a homer, activated from the DL today. He'd been out with left wrist inflammation since August 1st. Kershaw's spot is up next. Yasmani Grandal is in the on-deck circle. Bounce to first for Goldie. He'll take it himself. Brad just a step or two late getting over there. 2 down. And now Grandal hits for Kershaw. He, assuming, will remain in the game and take over behind the plate. 238, 22 home runs. Yasmani Grandal 0 for 5 in the series. He's punched out 3 times. So Grandal is announced. You've got a lefty ready in the bullpen. It's T.J. McFarland, and here's Torey Lovullo. Ziegler got his 2 righties. Lefty coming in back after this. and get the final out of this 7th inning against the pinch hitter Yasmani Grandal. The series finale tomorrow from LA. Clay Buchholz against Walker Buehler, the rookie right-hander. Diamondback Live pregame show comes your way at 12:30 in the afternoon tomorrow on Fox Sports Arizona. TJ McFarland. He'll be used more as a matchup lefty like we talked about earlier over the course of this final month of the year. They spin Grandal around, and he will bat from the right-hand side. This is why you bring in the lefty, Grandal. Only 209 versus left-handers with 3 home runs. Much better from the left-hand side than from the right. Grandal is really slumping. He's stuck in a 4 for 30 skid right now. He hit 162 in August. TJ, as always, working at the knees or below, which based on Dan Bellino's strike zone so far tonight should work out for the D-backs. Bounce to shortstop. Nick Ahmed. Diamondback bullpen has faced 6 batters. They've gotten 6 outs. They lead it 2-0.
Hot dogs, lucky jerseys, homemade signs, and
Diamondbacks in the 8th inning in LA. As we get set for the top half of the inning. Beat LA. D-backs back in the fight for postseason. And these boys in blue are back at Chase Field for the final home series of the year, September 24th through the 26th. That is going to be an absolute must-see. D-backs Dodgers, the final home series of the season, the regular season at Chase Field. At the D-backs look to beat LA. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. Kenta Maeda, who was warming up for a while in the ball game last night, is on tonight to start the 8th inning for Dave Roberts. He's got a host of changes around him. It's an all-new battery, in fact, as Yasmani Grandal does indeed stay in the game. He takes over behind the plate after they pinch hit for Austin Barnes. Cody Bellinger, who hit for Puig, stays in the game, takes over in center. Kike Hernandez moves over to right, replacing Puig. Steven Souza Jr. 0 for 3 so far. Leads off the 8th.
If you happen to be scoring at home, the pitcher spot for the Dodgers is now in the 8 hole. Grandal batting 9th, Bellinger 7th.
Big cut at that one. Here's a look at the defense against Steven Souza Jr. 3 infielders on the third base side. Wooden Shack 0-2.
Diamondbacks with only 4 hits. 2 of them solo homers, Escobar and Christian Walker. Walker a pinch hit homer to start the 6th off Clayton Kershaw. The 2nd time this year he's homered as a pinch hitter against Kershaw. Dodgers have only 3 hits. Patrick Corbin had to work awfully hard to get through 5, but got the job done. And Hirano, Ziegler, and McFarland got them through the 6th and 7th. Yoshi struck out the side in the 6th. And Souza goes down swinging to start the game. Here's AJ 0 for 3. AJ 0 for 12 in the series. And trying to dig his way out of what has become a 3 for 40 slump.
We keep trying to spin positive on AJ. He has made much better contact recently, hit some long fly balls for outs, but just not getting any results.
He's flying out twice and grounded out tonight. Maeda has been much more effective in a relief role than he has as a starter. Not that he's been terrible as a starter, but he's been very good in relief, and that was the case last year. Had his first save of the season the other night against Texas. There's a strike, 1-1. And he's worked 6 1/3 out of the bullpen this year, and he's got 10 strikeouts. Now we're calling the high fastball, 1-2. Goldie will be next. And AJ goes down swinging.
Changeup, split changeup from Maeda. Just bottoms out as it gets into the hitting zone right there. AJ had to protect in the 2-strike count and chased a pitch that ended up low out of the zone.
Goldie singled his last time up. 5 hits in the series. He homered here last night. Boy, these two teams last night combined for just 5 runs on 11 hits. Tonight 2 runs on 7 hits. Archie gets ready for the 8th. Dozier, Turner, Machado 1, 2, and 3 due up for LA. Now a final at San Diego. The Rockies win. Colorado beat the Padres 4-2. So the Rockies have picked up for the moment a half game. Goldie hits a high fly ball toward the left field corner. Kemp has room, and he's got it on the warning track. Bottom 8 on the way. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Here comes Archie.
bring it. Their team, just like ours, is trying to win tonight. We're not trying to, look at the rest of this, last month we have. We're focused on tonight, and we have our hands full.
Well, Steve and Bob, Patrick Corbin wouldn't bite on the Don King-esque hyperbole machine, but Archie Bradley certainly understood it. And now this is his inning. We'll send it up to you.
Well, he'll face the power-hitting left-hander Max Muncy, who will pinch hit for Brian Dozier. Archie, his first appearance in this series, he worked Tuesday and Wednesday in San Francisco, was off Thursday and last night. His 65th appearance of the year. Muncy hits for Dozier to start the bottom of the 8th. There's the strike. Started him off with that knuckle curve. Muncy 257, 30 home runs. Fastball is low. Muncy hitless in the series. He's walked and struck out. 3 defenders on the first base side. After this, it'll be Turner and Machado. So some heavy hitters in there against Archie Bradley for sure. Now Escobar with 2 strikes, slides over to second base, and Ahmed moves back over to shortstop. Turner on deck. Fastball misses down and in, 2-2. Got him. Archie Bradley, he'll complete the strikeout. Gets the strikeout, Bob, with that curveball.
Yeah, a couple of real nice curveballs in that sequence against Max Muncy. One to start it right here to steal strike 1. And he misses with a fastball, blows a 96-mile-an-hour heater by him right in the middle of the zone, misses in with 96, and then finishes it off with another really good curveball, breaking down in the middle of the zone. Our nationwide vision center's eye on the game.
Diamondbacks pitchers have struck out 7 of the last 9 Dodger hitters. Here's Turner, who has walked, doubled, and punched out 1 for 2. Seven of the last 9 LA batters has struck out. Newly acquired Ryan Madsen in the Dodger bullpen. They just picked him up the other day. Here's a low fastball that Bellino says is strike 2, and Dave Roberts has been barking all night long, oftentimes justifiably. Mathis lifts that glove up there just a bit.
That one for me is borderline. It appeared that it caught just the bottom of the zone right there. Of course, the ball was completely out of our K zone there, but any part of the ball hitting any part of that box, it's considered to be a strike.
0-2. Tried the curveball again. We've seen Archie go to that knuckle curve more and more often lately. The confidence in that pitch does seem to be growing. The fact that he used it in a 2-strike count against Muncy as a put-away pitch was next level. This is bounced by Goldie and Marte. It's into right. Boy, he really threaded the needle that time. That was the only line on which that ball could have got through. And Turner's aboard for the 3rd time tonight.
Center cut fastball, actually outside corner fastball that time for Justin Turner. He grounds it to the right side, just past Goldie, diving just out of the reach of Ketel Marte, sliding. Archie was over there to cover the bag. I don't know if anybody could have made a play to first base, even if they come up with that ball.
Machado 0 for 3, struck out twice against Corbin. Tying run is at the plate in the 8th inning with 1 out. Fastball's a strike 0-1. Machado 0 for 4 last night, hitless so far tonight. Matt Kemp is the on-deck hitter.
Another fastball, and it's 0-2. Kemp would be next. Able to lay off. They tried to get him to bite up and away.
I like that pitch right there. He's thrown 2 fastballs for 2 called strikes. When a hitter like Manny Machado takes 2 fastballs right down the middle, it makes me wonder if he's not looking for the curveball. Another fastball away.
Left it up in a bad spot. Got away with it.
We talk a lot about reading a hitter's swing. Sometimes you can read the takes as well. If a guy takes 2 fastballs right down the middle, especially an aggressive hitter like Machado, you have to think in the back of your mind, maybe he's looking for something off speed, and Archie only throws a curveball. There it was, just below the bottom of the zone.
Just missed, and again he threw it in a 2-strike count. Machado able to spit on that one, and it's 2-2.
Ball away.
97. Well, Archie Bradley's Players Weekend nickname has been Hollywood, a nickname from high school. And here he is in Hollywood land.
Another heater away.
Another foul ball, 96. Eighth pitch coming up. They tried the curveball again, and now it's full. Well, Machado has spoiled some fastballs. He's laid off some curveballs. And it's 3-2. Now this place starting to get loud. It's a sellout tonight. More than 52,000 in here. 3-2 to Manny Machado. We'll do it again.
That's strength against strength right there.
This is fun. It's nerve-wracking as heck, but it's fun.
Occasionally as a catcher, you can have your pitcher shake his head no a couple of times just to try to throw the batter off if he's trying to guess along with you, but Archie's just a 2-pitch pitcher. So I think the shaking of the head wouldn't be as effective for Archie as it would be for somebody that had a full 4-pitch arsenal.
Well, one of them is going to win this battle. It's either Hollywood or Mannywood. Once again on 3-2. Late time granted by Dan Bellino. Madsen and Jansen ready in the Dodger bullpen. Diamondback bullpen is quiet. He walked him. And now the go-ahead run comes to the plate. It's Matt Kemp. Kemp is 0 for 3. We talked about this the other night when Kemp was in there against Yoshihisa Hirano. When the Dodgers had a threat going in the 8th inning Thursday, Kemp does have a tendency to hit into a lot of double plays. Here comes Mike Butcher. Archie does not have the split finger pitch that Yoshi has. Bellino out there to break up the town meeting, and here we go with Bradley and Kemp, 2 on and 1 out. Diamondbacks hanging on to a 2-0 lead, each team with 4 hits. You've got Turner at second. Machado is the tying run at first with 1 out. Jock Peterson is in the on-deck circle. Another left-hand bat comes off Dave Roberts' bench. He would hit for Freeze. There's strike 1. Fastball's a strike. That's in there. 0-2. Kemp buckled on that one. I think it fooled the crowd here, but that was a strike all the way. Fastball from Archie's got some run on it into the right-hander. Oh, 0-2.
Bad place to miss with the curveball that time, but you wonder if he intentionally threw it out there in the dirt, or he's just having trouble commanding that curveball.
Yeah, Machado was able to take a pass on most of them. Kemp hits a fly ball deep to center field. And the Dodgers have the lead.
Does throw a curveball in the strike zone, and Matt Kemp hits it like he knew it was coming that time. Just a rolling breaking ball in that inner third. Golfs it way out of here just to the left of straightaway center. Boy, that sucks.
Long walk to the mound for Torey Lovullo. Matt Kemp had homered only once in his last 31 games. He gave that one a ride. And Archie Bradley leaves trailing 3-2. Back from LA after this. Well, bench coach Bob Guerin, a big hug from Matt Kemp. We saw Archie Bradley throw a number of curveballs in 2 strike counts in this inning. But he hung that one and Kemp tattooed it to center. And suddenly it's 3-2 Dodgers. Jock Peterson announced as the pinch hitter for Freeze. And so Torey Lovullo counters with his lefty. It's Andrew Chafin. Madsen has sat down in the Dodger bullpen. Kenley Jansen, the closer, who got his 33rd save last night, continues to warm up. It'll be Peralta, Escobar, and Ahmed 4, 5, and 6 in the top of the 9th. Peterson at 244 and 19 home runs, hitting for Freeze. Still only 1 out. All the runs tonight for both sides coming on home runs. We always say solo homers don't beat you. Torey Lovullo's club had 2. Kemp hit the 3-run shot. Peterson had an RBI single yesterday. He was batting in the leadoff spot. Had that against Zach Greinke. He has not seen a whole lot of left-handers this year, but he's ahead 2-0. There's a slider for a strike. Peterson usually gets shielded from lefties. Only 51 plate appearances all year. He's hit 125 against left-handers. Three and 1. Hernandez on deck. Up the middle and into center, a base hit. That's 4 consecutive Dodgers who have reached with 1 out. And here's Hernandez. No one warming up in the bullpen. You've got the lefty Bellinger on deck, so Chafin will have to get the right-hand hitter here. He is 0 for 3. Down the line in right and slicing out of play. Dodgers had the late homers last night. Hernandez had the 2-out pinch hit homer in the 7th that tied it before Turner's solo shot led off the 8th that gave them the lead and eventually the win. And tonight it's Kemp in the 8th inning, a 3-run shot. Silvino Bracho just up today from Reno with rosters expanded, starts to get loose. They've got a few new bullpen pieces down there up from Reno. Bracho, Sherfy, Matt Cook all back up here. Sliders in the dirt, a ball and a strike. Rockies have already won. They beat the Padres in San Diego 4-2. So for the moment, both Colorado and Los Angeles 1 game behind the D-backs NL West lead. Good slider there. Hernandez swings over the top. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
For Kike Hernandez, 13 of his 19 homers have come here at Dodger Stadium. We've talked about Dodger Stadium. It's a more hitter-friendly environment than it used to be, but it's still a pretty amazing split.
Got him on a slider. Chafin gets the strikeout, 2 down.
Center fielder number 35, Cody Bellinger.
Here's Bellinger. Bellinger hit for Puig in the 7th. He struck out against Brad Ziegler, stayed in the game, took over in center. Chafin trying to get us to the 9th. Jansen is ready in the bullpen after he picked up the save in last night's game. D-backs have the shift on. Ahmed, the shortstop, is right behind the second base bag. Marte on the outfield grass at second. Bellinger drives it right at Souza. But the Dodgers get 3 on the Matt Kemp homer. And here comes Jansen in the 9th. Cool play of the game. Christian Walker, his second pinch hit home run against Clayton Kershaw this year. That was in the 6th inning, the first pitch he saw from Kershaw. And it made it 2-0 Diamondbacks. They now trail it 3-2 following the Matt Kemp 3-run home run in the 8th inning. And now on to start the 9th. He got his 33rd save of the ball game last night. It's the closer, Kenley Jansen. He will face David Peralta, Eduardo Escobar, and Nick Ahmed, the scheduled hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the Diamondback 9th. A whole bunch of defensive changes around him.
And Jansen with that cut fastball, we know all about it. He likes to work it across the top of the zone. Rarely throws anything else.
David will lead it off. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out against Kenley Jansen in the ball game last night. And get used to it. The cutter is in there for a strike. New outfield, all new outfield for LA. Jock Peterson in left, Chris Taylor in center, and Alex Verdugo in right as Bellinger moves to first. And Hernandez takes over at second base. 1-1. There's the defense now for LA. Peterson, Taylor, Verdugo with the outfield left to right.
Third defensive position for Kike Hernandez in this ball game. Started in center, moved to right, now at second.
And one is upstairs, 2-1. Pitcher spot is fourth for LA right now as Kemp comes out of the ball game. Did he check? Yes, he did, says Tom Hallion. And David's ahead 3-1.
It certainly looked with the naked eye like he was able to check. Ooh, man. Dave Roberts has an argument right there. That bat went a little farther than I thought.
Get through. Hernandez smothers it, and Bellinger makes the play. Well, those were the two defensive changes at the start of this half inning. Hernandez took over at second, Bellinger at first, and they combined to retire Peralta.
Need to give Dodgers credit, but man, what a defensive play right there. Kike Hernandez and Cody Bellinger stretching out into foul territory. You know there's a chance you're not going to get an accurate throw when the guy is tumbling around in shallow right field. What a nice play.
Well, Escobar will bat from his power side, which is the left side, even though he homered as a right-hand batter in the second against Clayton Kershaw. 15 of his 20 homers coming as a left-hand hitter. Backs out, looks at a cutter up high for a strike. His home run in the second off Kershaw, his fifth as a Diamondback in his 30th game. Dodgers have three infielders on the right side against Escobar. Machado, the shortstop, almost directly behind the bag at second, out there with second base ump Ryan Blakeney. Hernandez well back of the outfield grass. Oh, that cutter's chasing you if you're the left-hand batter. 2-1.
Head high inside. Escobar does a nice job of getting out of the way, but needs an extra moment to regroup before getting back into that batter's box.
Nick Ahmed is in the on-deck circle. They do have some left-hand options on the bench. Drop that cutter down, and it's 2-2. And now Turner will move over to where Machado was, and Machado slides back to shortstop. No, he didn't, Tom Hallion.
That looked better that time. No argument that time from Dave Roberts.
Full count, 3-2. Got him.
Just a center cutter that time, right down the middle of the plate at 91.
It's up to Nick Ahmed to keep this thing going. Nick tonight 0 for 3. Rockies have already won. If the Dodgers hang on and win this one, you'll have three teams all within a half a game of each other for the NL West lead.
Colorado won at San Diego tonight. D-backs and Dodgers will be deadlocked. There's the high cutter, and it's 0-1. Sellout crowd, better than 52,000 here tonight. It certainly has felt like a playoff game all night long.
Oh, what a stark contrast between the way the two managers have handled their lineups tonight. Dave Roberts has used 7 guys off the bench offensively, 5 pinch hitters, well, and 2 defensive replacements.
And Torey Lovullo, just like last night, has some good left-hand options available right here in Jay and Descalso. Avila as well, but he's sticking with Nick, and he's down 0-2, and they're on their feet in LA. Descalso has a bat. Marte is the on-deck hitter. It would be Mathis behind him. And then the pitcher's spot. 1-2 on Nick Ahmed. Nick sends one out to left center. Taylor's able to cut it off. Ahmed digging for second, and he's in there. Hang on to the bag, Nick. There he is. How about that? And the Diamondbacks aren't dead yet. Tying run in scoring position with 2 outs, and Marte will be the hitter. Taylor made that close.
Taylor has good speed out there in center field. Was able to get to that ball a lot quicker, I think, than anybody thought. Got off a pretty strong throw back into the infield. Without that slip, it might be a different play at second base. Nick in on his belly, representing the tying run with 2 outs here in the 9th.
And the hitter is Ketel Marte. Marte had a switch shot single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Nick is the tying run at second with 2 outs in the 9th. No shift by the Dodgers. Drops that punt fastball in there for a strike. 0-1. Ahmed has given them a chance. Machado sneaking in there behind Nick at second. Now he backs off. Here's the 0-1. That's upstairs, a ball and a strike. Descalso would hit for Mathis. Popped him up. Hernandez calling for it. And the Dodgers take this one 3-2. For the second night in a row, it's a 3-2 Los Angeles win. And now the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers are in a dead heat atop the National League West. Each team 74-62 with only 26 games to play, and the Rockies are only a half game back.
Well, last night's ball game certainly hurt, but this one really hurt. Diamondbacks appeared to be well in command. Archie Bradley coming in out of the bullpen. He's been so locked down this season. The Dodgers found a way. Matt Kemp with that long 3-run homer. And that's how we end this ball game.
Much more from Los Angeles when we come back on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks and Dodgers now tied atop the division with 1 more to play tomorrow. Back in a moment.